Hey guys, this is Volume. So before I get into some examples here, I need you guys to copy down the volume formula for each of these four different shapes. We have the rectangular prism, the cylinder, the cube, and the triangular prism. Okay, and I'm going to go over each of these formulas with you. When I go over each of these formulas with you, you'll notice that the volume formula for each of these shapes is kind of similar to the respective area formula, which we did last week. Notice that on the rectangular prism, the volume formula is length times width times height. Here's our length, width, and height. Okay, notice that in my volume formula, there is length times width, and that's my area of a rectangle, right? So the only thing that's added here is the height. You'll repeatedly see this pattern in all these formulas that I'm pointing out to you. The only thing that's added to the formula is the height. Let's go ahead and look at the cylinder. The volume formula for cylinder is pi r squared h. Okay, pi r squared, again, that's the area of circle. And the only thing that's added to the volume formula is the height. Okay, so if you don't remember what the volume formula is for a certain shape, all you have to remember is the area of the shape times the height, and that will give you the volume. Let's take a look at the cube. The volume formula is length times width times height. Again, length times width is repeated in our area formula, and the only thing that's added is our height. Length times width times height. Triangular prism. Area of triangle, 1/2 base times height times the length. Okay, this is the length. Now let's get into some examples here and get involved into doing some of these volume problems. At any point, pause the video if you feel like I'm talking too fast or you need to go back and rewatch something. Now over here in my first example, we have a rectangular prism. If you don't remember what the formula is, just remember what the area of the rectangle is. What's the area of a rectangle? Now that's going to be length times height. Length times width. And one thing that's added into the volume formula is height. Length times width times height. So we have 4 times 5 times 8. And let's just multiply these numbers out from left to right. 4 times 5 is 20. 20 times 8 equals to 160. Keep in mind the unit of measurement here is centimeter, so this is centimeter. But since we're calculating volume and this is in third dimension, this is going to be cubic centimeter. So the volume is 160 cubic centimeter. Let's look at a cube. Okay, we have a length, width, and height. Notice that the length, width, and height are in the same measurement. They're the same length. Okay, so again we have 4 times 4 times 4. Okay, 4 times 4 is 16. 16 times 4 gives you 64. Again, volume, so we have cubic centimeter. 64 cubic centimeter. Let's look at two other examples. These are slightly harder. Let's take a look at this. Over here on the top, we have a triangular prism. So if you could remember what the area for a triangle is, that will help you generate the formula for volume. The area for triangle is 1/2 base times height. The only thing that's added into the volume is the length here, so times length. Okay, so we have 1/2 times our base is the bottom side of the triangle, which is 5. So 1/2 times 5 times 4, and our length is 12. Okay, so let's go ahead and calculate all this number. Well, actually we could take half of any of these numbers, right? But we could first calculate what this is first. 5 times 4 is 20. So we still have 1/2 times 20 times 12. Okay, 20 times 12, that gives you 240. 1/2 times 240. Well, that's just half of 240. Half of 240 is 320 cubic centimeter. And that would be my volume of that triangular prism. One more. We have the cylinder. Finally, when we're applying the cylinder formula for volume, all we have to remember is the area of triangle, which is pi r squared. And again, with volume, the only thing that's added is the height. So pi r squared times height. So let's find r. R, well, given that this whole entire length here across the circle is 6, my r is going to be half of that. My r is going to be 3. So write that down. Okay, now we're just going to go ahead and plug it in. Pi we use as 3.14. R is 3 squared times height is 14. Okay, again, exponent always goes first, so we have 3 squared, which is 9, times 3.14 times 14. Okay, and here when you multiply, let me see, when you multiply 9 to 3.14, let me use my calculator. 9 times 3.14, that's going to give you 28.26 times 14. That's going to be 395.64. Again, this is in centimeter, so we have 395.64 cubic centimeter. And that would be the volume of this cylinder. Okay? If there's any question, please feel free to rewind the video and watch it over again until you get it. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.